Are you looking for a bedding solution for your camper van? Well, stick around. I think I might have found it. So there are a number of problems with camper van beds, and let me explain them to you. First of all, they're all different sizes. So depending on the longer, the layout may be a little different, but they tend to go from side to side. So obviously you can't walk around them. So the first problem obviously is the size. This one happens to be 72 inches from the end of the bed to the doors. And the width is 69 inches. So you're not going to be able to use any kind of, sheets or anything like that. But that's not the biggest issue. The biggest problem is you can't tuck anything in. So you've got these two, they're kind of like ottomans. And yes, I could pop them up, but you can't tuck into them. So that's a problem. And then the other problem is that because you can't tuck anything in, that means, you can try to tuck some of the excess material, and that's what we were doing, and it was okay, but they still move around, and so by the morning time, you have kind of got this big pile of bedding that, I don't know, is a little weird. The other problem with it is that the bedding takes up so much space. It is the biggest challenge in such a small space is where do you store the bedding? And so I think that my new solution is actually going to work because it takes up less space and it won't be, hopefully, so messy. So let me show you what I've come up with. So thanks to several people who commented about that Duvalay product, I looked into it, but it was quite expensive to have it shipped over from the UK, and it's just an expensive product all around. And so I thought, well, maybe I can make my own, because basically it's a foam, and maybe their foam is higher quality, I don't know, but it's a piece of foam, 1-inch foam, that is sandwiched between basically it's almost like a duvet cover, but it's a snug fit. So it has, sheeting material on both sides. And so I decided to try to make my own version of the Duvalay. So the first thing I did was buy some 1-inch memory foam. And this was $21. I ended up getting the twin XL, because I had measured wrong and I thought I needed the length, but it turned out the XL was a dollar cheaper. So this was like $21, includes shipping. And I got 2 of these, and this bed being 69 inches, the twin size is 34 inches wide and 72 inches long. I got the XL, which is 76 inches long, and ended up cutting a little bit off. So I got 2 of these, and then I'm going to use some old sheets. So come on inside and I'll show you how I made them. So the materials you'll need for this project are the foam, and I'll put links below to any items that I can get links to. The 1-inch foam, and you'll need some old sheets. I'm just using these. I had the one I did already was just a flat sheet. This is a fitted sheet that I'm going to remove I'm just going to cut the elastic off, and I think that'll work. And then you need some zipper tape, and I bought yardage of it. I bought, I think, 3, 4, 5 yards maybe. Maybe it was 5 yards. Because the zipper, you want it to be the complete length. That will make it easy to remove the foam from the cotton, the sheet part. And that's all you need. And so the first thing I'm going to do is to cut off the foam. I'm going to cut 5 inches. This is how much I cut from my other one, but obviously it will depend on the size of your bed. Memory foam is flammable, so just keep that in mind, and it comes with a tag to remind you that it's flammable. And I'm going to square this up along my cutting mat and get a long ruler, and I'm going to mark it at 5 inches. Then I've got a couple of clamps. And I'm going to clamp it down on both sides. And I put a fresh blade into a knife, into a, what do they call these, box cutters? Whatever they're called. Put a fresh blade in there, and then I will just slice right along my straight edge. Perfect. Because I don't have any more flat sheets, I'm going to go ahead and cut the elastic off of this sheet, and I'm not sure I'll have enough material, but if I don't, I'll cut another one up. But I think I'll have enough. So the elastic is off, and now I'm going to cut these corners. They're stitched so that they mold around your mattress, so I'm just going to cut that up to that point. And I'll do that on all four corners so that it will lie flat when I put it on the floor to mark the where the foam pad is going to be resting. Okay, all four are cut. Now I can go lay it out on the floor. Okay, so now I have my sandwich down here on the floor. I think I can make it work, but it might be a little tight. Because a queen size flat sheet works really well. You can get both sides out of it. The fitted sheet is smaller, obviously. So what I'm going to do is get as much of the width as possible. So I'm just going to take off like right to this cut and square it up a little bit. So now I've removed the foam and folded this in half. I'm hoping this is enough fabric. It's really going to be close. Hopefully you'll have flat sheets, don't have to deal with this. Because I'm going to press this folded seam over here, this folded edge. I'm going to press it with the iron because that'll give me a nice clean mark. And then I'm going to slice it open because that's the edge that I'm going to use to sew the zipper onto. And then that will be the other edge. Obviously, it would be wonderful if we could sew a zipper without having to slice this open, but that's not possible. So I'm going to go do that now. Got 4 layers on here. Because I want a really nice straight cut without a lot of jagged edges, I'm going to use my rotary cutting tool. There are lots of ways to finish an edge. I'm going to do it the easy way because I have a serger. But if you don't have a serger, you can obviously do a zigzag stitch or some kind of edge finishing stitch, or probably the preferred way would be to fold it over 1/4 inch and then maybe again 1/4 inch. And then you'll be sewing the zipper on. But that way you'd have a finished edge on the inside. But it's not essential because no one's going to see that side. So this sheet doesn't have a right or wrong side, but just to keep it clear for you guys, I'm just going to take this this pen. These are erasable pens. They actually come off with heat. So I'm going to write on here, right side, So you keep that clear. And then on the zipper, and I'm using an invisible zipper, and I'm going to put a link below to a woman who will show you how to install an invisible zipper. There are lots of videos online where you can see that. But so the pull, so this is the right side of the zipper and that is the wrong side. And so I've opened the zipper, and you don't want to go too far because it'll come right off. So don't go down too far. Cut the zipper as long as you want it as long as the foam pad, because you are going to cut off the extra. But it's easier to install a zipper if you leave extra at both ends. So the right side of the zipper is going to face the right side of the sheet, like this. And now I know I have too much fabric up here. I don't need that much. I'm just going to start down at some point. And first I'm going to pin it. Basically, this is like making putting an invisible zipper in a knife-edged pillow. And there are lots of ways to do this, and you can see lots of ways online. I'm actually going to go pretty close because I don't have a lot of fabric to work with. So I'm going to go right up to the edge that I've already finished with my serger. And I'm just going to pin one pin right there and then go to the sewing machine. So I don't actually have an invisible zipper foot, which is what probably most people use. But I was going through my collection of feet, trying to figure out what would work, kind of do something similar to that. And I found this foot. So you can use, and you don't have to use an invisible zipper foot. You could use your regular zipper foot. But whatever you can figure out that works. So I got myself a new tripod on Black Friday or whatever that week is. And I'm hoping it will make my life a lot easier. So I'm putting my foot on and grab my fabric. You know, it's a little bit confusing. I just realized when I said right side, some people call it it's the fashion side. It's not the right versus left side. It's the side that would show. We have such a confusing language, don't we? Okay, so I'm just going to get up as close as I can to the teeth. Some people actually iron that down, but I'm always afraid I'm going to melt the nylon in there, so I don't do that. And because this is not something I'm going to wear, it's just, it's just bedding, I don't have to worry so much about the zipper showing. So this is how I did the last one, and this is how I'm going to do this one. Okay, so I have gotten in here. I've moved the needle over so I can get as close to the zipper teeth as possible without hitting the teeth. And I'm going to backstitch first and hold the ends of my threads because my machine tends to get garbled up in the bobbin if I don't do that, and I'm going to go in reverse. So it's a lot like talking and chewing gum at the same time. Oops. Okay, I'm almost to the end on the one side. And I am actually going to stop short. I've put a little clip here. You can put a pin or a clip here just to remind you not to zip it all the way off. And I think I'll do a couple of back stitches. So I'm going to also mark the right side of the other side. So this is the right side. So I've got the right side, and now the right side is going to face the right side. And I'm doing this just to make sure that I sew the other side of the zipper on the right way. So I'm just going to roughly line these up. I have extra height, so I'm not worried so much about that side matching. But just kind of a rough line up. All the way up to here. So I know this is the right side. Put an R there for right side, or the fashion side. So I've got my zipper. Zipper right side is facing the right side of that edge, and then over here, this is the right side. It's going to face the right side here. So I'll start sewing somewhere around, match up? Yeah, it's right there. Oh, there we go. Okay, zipper is done. I'm gonna zip it up. Make sure I don't go off the edge to there. Okay. Now we're going to go see how much room we have left for the other seam and, with the foam inserted. So I almost blew it because when I cut that seam down the middle, I cut the wrong direction. But I think I still have enough fabric because a queen size sheet is almost a perfect square. So I am going to just trim this just a smidge to mark where I'm going to put in my other seams. I'm not going to give myself, well, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it and see what happens. I think I'm going to mark it, and then I'm going to remove the foam pad so I get a nice flat surface. So I took the foam out and laid it on top of the sheet. And now I'm giving myself about a generous inch seam allowance around the edge. And the reason for that is that I need, because the foam is an inch thick, and I want to have a ½ inch for the seam, so that should give me plenty of space here. So I'm just going to mark it and then cut it. So now it's just a matter of stitching up the pieces together and their right sides together. And I put on my zipper foot because I want to get up really close to the zipper and make sure that doesn't come out. So I'm going to stitch really close to the zipper, as close as I can, and then I will come down and do just a bit of a tapered here. And I want to end up with a ½ inch seam allowance, but here's the thing, I don't want to do it on the sewing machine because I can get a nicer finish on these sergers. So I'm going to switch machines, but if you're doing it on a sewing machine, you just continue sewing a ½ inch all the way around to the other side. And now I've switched back to the sewing machine so that I can get up really close to the other end of the zipper. Be sure to leave yourself a little bit of space in here so you can get in there and move that zipper down. There we go. So now I'm going to turn it right side out and go see how it fits the mattress or the foam pad. Here's the old old man trying it out. I think it's gonna work. So to roll, this is my prototype, and they're actually both prototypes, aren't they? So to roll it up, I just fold it in half, and just like a sleeping bag. I guess I could have worn jeans without the rips. But it sure rolls up easily. And then we use these stretchy Velcro straps that we got from I think Home Depot or someplace like that, but I will put a link if you're in an area where you don't have a Home Depot. So that's one small tight roll, so I think that's going to work really well. And now after they've been rolled up for a while, they obviously compress, and they could take a few minutes to decompress, but they do return to their normal size pretty quickly. So, and the other thing about these that I like is that when you're camping alone, when I camp alone, I like to just I'll put the back seat like that, and I won't put these in, I won't make up the whole bed. I'll just go like that, so I can just sleep on that and not have to use up the entire space. So they will work both ways depending on the size of your bed. There we go. Okay, so here are the two pads, and depending on how they react at night when we're moving around, we may either leave them this way or we may have them run north and south. But the other thought I had was if we do them this way and I find that they move around too much, I could put a piece of elastic. Why don't you move up here, John? I could put, like a fitted sheet has, sometimes they have those elastic pieces. I could have one here and then hold it down with that pad, but I don't know. We're going to be going camping when this video is posted. We will be out at Anza Borrego State Park camping, and that's where we're going to give it a try, along with our new blackout screen up front. And also, John, I told him to go on the search for some smaller pillows, because the pillows were taking up way too much space, especially his, and just like his shoes. And so he found these awesome pillows. They're called a toddler pillow, and I'll have a link. This one actually has a pillowcase on it. I've ordered two for myself. He's got another one on order. I've ordered two without the pillowcase. This is what it looks like normally, this cover, because I'm just going to use a regular pillowcase that I'm going to just, cut down to size. I don't want to mix my pillows up with his pillows, and I get cooties. So anyway, we'll be trying those out as well on the trip, and let you all know how they work out. And then my next project, I'm going to try to finish it before we leave, are the blackout shades and the insulated shades for the windows. I think I've figured out an easier way to do it. So we'll keep you posted. I'll let you know in the next video. And thanks for watching.